to a show.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Mats Podcast. And I want to open this episode just real quick. Recently at our gym, Crazy 88 MMA, we had a teammate tragically pass away on May 17th. And the funeral was yesterday, May 29th, and I just want to bring light to that, and it's tragic, it's sad, but also too, if the Timmons family, Brandon, Timmons, the older brother who trains with us, if you all are listening, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers. We're very sorry for your loss. The teammate in question was Justin Timmons, great kid, one of our regulars on Saturdays at Severna Park, and a funny kid. Never backed down. I would always talk a little bit of smack to him, and he would always give it right back. And I called him kid a lot. He was 19. He would always say, "I'm not a kid," and then proceed to jiu-jitsu me. But he's going to be missed. We trained today, and it didn't wasn't the same. Just felt very just different. So we're going to miss him, and To Brandon, if you hear this, we love you, man, and we're here for you.
100%.
For this episode, I want to also welcome a returning guest from Crazy 88. Look, man, as far as the name goes, you're going to have to introduce yourself.
Beltus Tabot. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel like there's like six other names. I always I see the name and I'm like, I feel like I could say that. That's pretty easy. But then when you say it's like, oh, that sounds so much better than the way I was going to say it. So
I've had all my life to practice saying my name, But
one would think.
But talking about what we were saying earlier, just to add, suicide is never the way. For anybody who's listening, or whenever you're listening. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're going through. I promise, time heals every wound. Well, except even a lot of physical wounds. And always try to talk to somebody. There's always somebody who cares. It might be a stranger. It might be someone. You might feel like people who don't care, and you're most probably wrong. But strangers care about you too. So always, if you feel like doing that, always try to talk to somebody. Yeah,
absolutely. It's definitely a weird thing when you think nobody hears you, nobody cares, but we do. On BJJ Wiki, I post pretty frequently mental health awareness and suicide awareness. So, if anything, shoot me a message. I had quite a few people do it, and hey,
really?
We'll chat, because like I said, you're not alone. So we got you. We're here and we care. But Beltus, welcome back to the podcast, my friend. And it's like I felt like I was like, well, look, he's from the gym. I'll go ahead and do this little shout out as well. Kind of keep it in house. But I want to catch up with you, my friend, and just what's been going on, man. It's been a minute since we talked. Last time you was on, the episode did phenomenal. People are like, let's tune into this dude. It's the accent.
Right. Of course, the foreign accent. That's That's what gets the people.
Well, I tell people if you have an accent, I intentionally look for it. I'm like, oh, you've got to be a guest on any of the podcasts. I don't even care. Just come on and like, we just had one of our Sunday guys come on. He's from the UK. I was like, I only want you on because you have an accent.
Drinking a bottle of water.
Yeah. Oh. I hope he doesn't listen to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
He's gonna like loop choke me tomorrow. But what's been going on, man?
Well, for the most part, has it been like 9 months since I came here?
Yeah, it's last summer.
Last summer, yeah. So almost a year, close to a year, not yet a year, because I think I came here maybe a few months after my surgery, and I had surgery in May last year.
Yeah.
So it's been like 9 months, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been okay. For the most part, I've been doing PT, working on my comeback. During that time, of course, I knew I was going to be down for a while. So a lot of my focus was, before I was able to walk and do anything, was on the mental aspect. I've always been listening to books and stuff like that, or like when things that concern the psychological part of life and of course of fighting. But I definitely went deeper than I used to, and I'm still on it, because I knew usually anybody who has been out of any sport or any activity they like, they usually say the first thing that suffers is the mental.
Yeah.
Is the mental part. So yeah, I've been working on that. I've been doing my PT.
Good.
I competed a few weeks ago, actually. That was my first real competition since I came back. I did like 1 or 2 scrimmage matches. Mm-hmm. Honestly, to be honest, maybe I should not have. I mean, I was lucky I didn't get hurt or anything.
That's good.
But for the scrimmage matches, but looking back, I was like, man, I was barely. Like my first match, I could barely even run. So I couldn't. By the time I did the first scrimmage competition, I don't think I could actually run, or jump properly. But I did it, and yeah, it was again. But I mean, I did those 2. I made it out, and then I did a tournament, kickboxing tournament recently. I went 1-on-1. I would have loved to give you guys a phenomenal story how I took everybody's head off, but I didn't. I still. You want something?
No.
I mean, I still have I'm gonna do better next time for sure, but I also still have a way to go in regards to rehabbing my knee, taking a lot longer than I expected, and I just come to the conclusion that if I wait until it's 100%, I'm gonna wait for a while. So I've been trying to just do what I can in regards to like competitions that are not gonna put too much, or competing in sports that are not gonna put too much strain on my knee, like kickboxing, compared to like jiu-jitsu or MMA. So yeah, that's what I've mostly been up to. Training. I'm getting back in there. Training with those guys in the competition team. All those guys are killers.
Oh yeah.
I'm at the I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. Everybody that's either on the competition team now is either pro or high level amateur. So I mean, it sucks to be in that position, but at the same time, it's good. You don't want to be the biggest fish in the pond. It's
True.
It's a extremely slippery slope. So I'm taking everything to the chin.
Well, I mean, I think that's the thing though too. Like you're mentioning, you felt like you might have been back a little early, but like as a competitor, as a fighter, a lot of us tend to do that.
Yeah.
But also too, like being kind of back at the bottom of the totem pole is like that's that fire. It lights the fire, and he was like, okay, well, look, all right, I'm back down here. It's like it's weird because like you see, new cats come through. It's like, oh man, good for them. You're proud of your teammates, but it's like, I need to get back.
Yeah, I want mine too. I want mine too. So yeah, it's definitely 100%. It lights a fire under you, and like I was talking about the mental part. That's what I've been digging at the most, to be honest, Dante. Like number one, because I was physically limited, I couldn't do a lot of things. But also, I always knew that fighting is like fighting is 100% physical and maybe 90%. I mean, no, sorry, 90%. I think you knew that I was getting it wrong, but
I was gonna let it roll.
Yeah,
I was like,
gonna let it roll.
Go
But
ahead, I got jokes.
but I think fighting is like 100% mental and whatever. I don't know, 90% physical or something, or 60%.
I mean, your percentage is a little
Yeah,
wild.
it's gonna be off.
But I get what you're saying.
I definitely wouldn't say it's like 60-40, you know, but like,
Yeah.
or let's say 60-40. But the mental part is the most important part, and I've definitely seen the mental part affect me in different ways, good or bad, you know, throughout my career in general, throughout my life in general. So I'm taking it as a discovery journey.
Like, I always wonder that with fighters, like, you know, after injury, especially coming back, like, do you feel like a pressure? Like, do you feel a pressure of like, I have to get back, or you know, or is it like I can take a little bit of time, but I know I want to get back.
No, you feel it's at least in my case, you feel, not even my case, for even the people I've spoken to, you feel immense pressure to come back, and it's a mixture of many things. Like a lot of people's identity is tied to fighting, right? And to a certain extent, it's a bad thing. Number two, you're actually experiencing pressure because you've already said, you've gone out and be like, man, you know how people post on the story, like the comeback season's going to be crazy, all that stuff, which again is good pressure, but it's pressure. And a lot of people, I've spoken to a lot of people who've had, it's like as soon as I got hurt, I just keep bumping into people who were competing and they got hurt and they're like, man, I want to get back to, or maybe they're either ahead of me in the journey or behind, but I've just been bumping into a lot of fighters, and most of them, I had to tell them to, even though I was not taking my time, but I had to tell those guys to slow down. Like, man, you don't need to fight next month. You know, it's like, it's better to. But there's a lot of pressure because you want to come back. You miss the attention. You miss the attention. You miss the camaraderie of training. You miss that feeling of winning. You know, and all those. Yeah. So there's always a lot of pressure to come back, and even and sometimes the people around you also put pressure on you even without knowing. They're like, oh, how is your knee? Like with me, like people will ask, and it's not like they're not doing a bad thing, but they'll ask you every single time they see you, how is your knee? How many percent is the knee healed? And you get tired of like saying the same thing again and again. Those people are honestly, they're worried about you. They want you to come back. They want to see you compete again, and you almost start over. Although I might ask you, when do you think you're going to compete? And I'll be like, I might tell myself, I'll be like, in a month or so, or 2 months. And then that time comes and I'm still nowhere near where I thought I was going to be. So all those things just compound and add to a different type of pressure.
Do you think though, too, like with those questions, and then you say, you know, in a couple months, like, especially when you look at like, you know, the physical therapy and stuff, and you're like, okay, I'll be back in a couple months, and you know, there's optimism there. Like, do you look at it as more of like that, or more of like I know, like, you know, this is what my doctor is saying, or is it just like, again, the optimism, like, I'll be back in a couple months, I got this.
It's always optimism. With me, it was always optimism. I was like, I'm definitely I'm gonna heal quick, and I'm gonna be back in a month. I'm gonna be back in like 2 weeks or whatever. But yeah, it's always a mixture of very dangerous optimism, if I had to be honest, because again, you set yourself up for I wouldn't say for failure, but you set yourself up basically to be disappointed, because in those 2 months you're still limping, or you still can't do a lot of things. So yeah,
sure. Like I think about that, just like I don't compete, you know, but I think about that just in the general aspect of like, you know, I banged up my knee a few months back, and I felt it today. I was like, oh, that shit's still not really healed. Like, but there's that optimism, like, nah, I'm good. You know, I took like my injury wasn't anything crazy. I was like, I'll take a week off, and like, you know, had a bunch of family activities going on, so it was like time away. And optimism hit. I was like, yeah, I can get back out here. And I felt that shit today. I was like, should I be doing De La Riva? Nah,
probably not.
Probably not the best thing to be doing on this bad knee, but you know.
It doesn't matter if you're at the bottom or the top of De La Riva. It sucks if you have a bad knee.
Yeah. Well, I was top last week and got my other knee busted up, and I was like, yo, like, and you know, it could be I'm 48. You know, maybe I ain't got the best knees in the world, but you know, sometimes. Yeah. But I wonder though about that, because it's, you know, you see a lot of guys at our gym, you know, injury happens, you know, and it's not really so much about like, oh, they disappeared. Like, no, you know, they're recouping, you know, they're recovering and you know, kind of getting back to form. But then I'm always wondering, like, what's going on up there in the head? You know, what's going on? Like, especially when you come back, then it's like, okay, like you say, you took the time to work on your mental. So it's like now in returning, yes, the physical is lacking, obviously, because, you know, the ring rust and muscle memory is kind of, you know, needing to be recharged. But like for the mental aspect, you know, coming back, you know, what did you bring with you from those learnings as you're returning now and getting back out there?
I'll first of all highlight that I'm still in the learning process, but for the mental part, the first thing that comes to mind is I have so much more to offer apart from fighting. Because the first thing that I had to address is that, okay, if I never come back, I might never come back. I might never make the movie comeback. I might come back. I might never be able to get back on the trajectory I was going on. Or it also just made me think about, okay, even if I didn't get hurt, who knows if that's what this is what God has planned for me. And if I get to that point, I have to be brave enough and strong enough to be like, okay, this is not working. And remember that there are other parts, because like if you hear about a lot of these athletes, when they retire, not even when they get injured, when they retire, a lot of them go into bad habits, drugs, they get in trouble, they become bums. And it's because, like I was saying earlier, their entire identity is wrapped around the sport they're doing.
Yeah. And
first of all, with something like fighting, because fighting is inherently violent. If you have your entire identity wrapped around it, you're gonna be very dysfunctional. At least in my opinion. You know,
I agree.
The people that I've, like some of the fighters that I've been studying and stuff. For example, Mike Tyson, I'm a big fan of him. You know, you read his books. He talks about how he was going crazy. Mike Tyson was going crazy because his trainer, the only thing his trainer worked on was the ferocious part, like the part about him being a fighter. Everything was geared towards fighting, but they didn't teach him how to be a man.
Sorry, I just discovered something new. Go ahead.
Yeah, but without going too much on a long tangent, I'll say the first thing I worked on was knowing that, or reminding myself that there's a lot that I have to offer apart from fighting. You know, fighting is like I almost dare to say like a spiritual journey for me. And let me not use the word spiritual, but it is spiritual to a certain extent, because again, you're usually pitting your spirit against another man's spirit when you're fighting the person. It doesn't matter what type of match. Like, we're both colliding. You know, my will against your will, my body against your body, my spirit against your spirit. So it is a spiritual journey to a certain extent, but it's the journey. There are other things that, like, the people always, like, when I used to talk to a lot of those fighters, and they used to tell me that the most important thing is the journey. You know, like the people you meet along the way, the development and everything, because you don't, whatever goal you've set, number one, you might not achieve that goal. Number two, even when you do achieve it, you're gonna find out that it's not all that.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're not savoring what you have in between, you're gonna be pretty miserable. And that, like, goes to the second thing. Like, number one, I have a lot more to offer. Number two, it taught me to savor my journey more. You know, like, enjoy every day. It's hard, but try to enjoy whatever stage I'm in my journey. You know, whatever, like, remind myself that there were years ago, I used to tell my friends, yo, one day I'm gonna come to America and train MMA. And some people like, hell yeah. Other people be like, what is this guy talking about? You know, they used to make, like, a lot of my friends used to make fun of me. It's like, what's this guy? Like, I was, again, like I've probably said before, I was a pretty unathletic guy, pretty there was nothing that if you looked at me, you'd be like, oh, this guy's gonna one day compete in sports, right? It's not like I'm on the high level or anything, but I'm doing the hardest sport in the world, fighting, right? So just this in itself, just being in an MMA gym, just training with these professional fighters, just actually learning how to defend myself is already a dream come true. But I forget that whenever I had been forgetting that while I was there, because it's like I'm only thinking about the next thing. I want to do this. But when I got hurt, it forced me to slow down and really think about it. It's like, man, I'm already living some of my dreams now. You know, I'm here in America. I've been trying to get here for 20 years. My mom came here when I was 3 years old. She had been trying to bring us over for 20 years. Sheesh. I came here when I was 23, 27 now. My mom had been trying to bring us over for 20 years. So imagine like the disappointments, going to the embassy, they're like, hell no, all those different things, right? And I'm here now. I had given up that I'm never gonna come to America. And then I'll give up, and I had given up multiple times. I'd be like, I'm never gonna come here. And then a few years later, a new maybe the immigration, we start making progress in regards to immigration, and I'll get happy again, and then get another disappointment, just like that, the up and down for 20 years until I finally, and even at the airport, I almost didn't make it here. At the airport in Cameroon, they brought up some issues with my visa, even though my visa is legit, right? Yeah. But they brought up some sort of complications, and in my head I was like, oh, what was I thinking? You're never going to go to America. I started texting my friends are waiting outside the airport. I'm like, yeah, well, no, I don't think I'm going to go. And I mean, we're eventually able to figure it out, and we got on the plane, and we got here. Even when we got here, 4 hours at immigration, because they had to, that was COVID time, number one, and then we had to make sure everything is straight. So there's just a lot of tension and waiting. But again, like I said, I'm here now. So I'm really living a lot of, I'm really living my dream in different ways, So I've learned to begin to appreciate what I already have now. I've learned that I have a lot more to offer. And number 3, I've also learned that one of the things I've been working on I've been studying recently, is like, what's the source of your motivation? What's the source of my motivation when it comes to fighting? And I just saw a video recently that a guy was saying that a lot of fighters start fighting because of pain, right? Mm-hmm. I'm 100%, I'm one of them. But along the line, once that pain is resolved, they don't have anything to keep them going. A lot of those guys, because it's like they're going to therapy. They don't know, but they're going to therapy. And once they have gotten to that point where that anger is no longer carrying, I remember there was this UFC fighter, what's his name, Rory McDonald? Yeah. When he was retiring, he said, I'm no longer angry anymore, so I can't go. I've heard Mike Tyson say the same thing when he was retiring. I'm not angry anymore, so they can't, But then you have other people but if you look at every human being, we're very complex creatures, right? Yeah. We have multiple motivations when it comes to doing things, everything in general. It's not like, if I ask you, Dante, why do you like drinking soda or Gatorade? Today you might give me one reason, the next day I come back, you give me another reason, right? It's not like you're lying. You have multiple reasons why you like drinking that drink. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing with like sports and fighting. So I began to think about the other reasons why. I mean, of course, all that pain and anger, I wouldn't say in my case it hasn't gone. It's not like I've been fighting for years. I'm fighting for a short time. But I also have other reasons that I have for training in martial arts, that reasons that I've spoken about here on the podcast. I don't think I spoke about like the anger and the sadness, but I mostly spoke about the other reasons. Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's like when you pointed out the anger stuff, mm-hmm. It's like you get a lot of folks that are kind of told, like, this is, who you are. Like, I was mm-hmm. a kid that had anger issues growing mm-hmm. up, and I was always told, like, you're just an angry kid. Mm-hmm. You're just this, you're just that. I didn't find martial arts until 36, mm-hmm. 37, somewhere in that pocket. Yeah. And I didn't come in angry. I came in kind of curious, to be honest. And then once I like started getting my ass beat, I was like, it was like I couldn't even be mad because it was like, man, like,
you gonna get mad? What are you gonna do?
yeah, it was like I can't even be mad at these dudes. This dude just choked me in my t-shirt. Like, why? Like,
I can't get mad at whoop his ass. He whoop my.
Yeah. Well, like I think about that when I go with Navarro. I was like, I'm gonna treat this like a street fight. And this dude beating my ass. I was like, man, if this was a street fight, he's taking my lunch money. So
Navarro's giving me some good ass whoopings, man. If he ever hears this, Navarro's whooped me. I don't think he even remembers because he whoops everybody. But
yeah, but that's the thing is like, well, no, I think he does though, kind of because he likes to help us get better though. So it's like I feel like he does kind of catalog that. I was like, okay, I go through again. I'm gonna help you because last time I rode with him, though he was beating my ass, he was giving me opportunities to work. So I think he catalogs it. He gets it. But it's like the anger thing is interesting because I don't know personally anyone at our gym that's, for the most part, everyone seems to come in and, they're in good spirits and what have you. But it's like, I can speak on my own experience. It was like, I was an angry person for many, many years. I came into martial arts, wasn't really angry. And then, I started thinking back, I was like, I don't know that I could have done this during those angry years.
Yeah, it would be hard.
And like the ego would have been kind of an issue for me. But for those who can kind of get past that because they're angry and they're like, you think about a Mike Tyson and even a Rory McDonald, because it's like once you get past it, I was like, well, I'm not angry anymore. So why am I doing this? It's like, I almost feel like if you get to that point where it's like, why am I doing this? After you got past another point, it's like, I always feel like you missed a lesson somewhere. And that's not to say that they're bad. No. But I feel like I can only speak from my own experiences. There's a lesson in all your training. It's like, even to the point, like I've spoken with like coaches where it's like, I used to be a mean person. I don't want to channel meanness to train. And there's a fine line though, where it's like, I heard someone recently was like, no, you got to be mean. Go be mean. That doesn't mean hurt somebody, but go out there, you got to be mean. Like, if you got to mush somebody's face, you got to mush their face. And I was like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Because, like, with today training, one of the guys, he and I were, just grip fighting.
Yeah.
But we started going heavy, like throwing each other into the wall and shit. Meanwhile, we're looking around, everybody else is just kind of breaking grips, like doing everything polite. And we laughed about it afterward. And I was like, that's what being not angry, but like, that's what being mean means in this case. Is like, I'm not letting you get the underhook. Like,
get it. This is my underhook.
Yeah, this is my underhook. It's like, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna cinch it down.
Yeah.
Like, I might gotta crank you a little bit. It's not intentional. I'm not trying to hurt you. But I got to get this advantage. And there's a weird line because I think some folks, me being one of those folks, didn't quite get like, oh, you can be aggressive, you can be mean, but not really trying to like hurt somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fine line. It's a weird line, but
very, very weird line.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like when I look at like you guys at the gym though, especially the strikers, I'm looking at strikers. I'm like, I do that sometimes. I'm not as refined. Like I got a decent cross. My jab's not terrible. Oh, wait. Oh, we got to do more. Oh, there's a hook involved. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not that guy. But when I see you guys, training, I see videos and I see, competitions, like fights and stuff, I'm like, that's hard work put into action. Because it's like, you don't just go out there. And I feel like any of you all that are doing this is like, you're putting in the work. So it's not like, like you said, growing up, I'm going to go to America. I'm going to be a fighter. And it was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It's like when people doubt, it's like, you don't understand the hard work. Like you might know that there's hard work, but you don't understand like
hard work.
Yeah, the hard work to it and chipping away at it. Cause like you like me, not just the actual physical of it, but like you had like mental. The mental of it of like, are we ever going to fucking get over here?
Yeah.
Are we ever going to, and up to the point of getting to the airport and they're like, maybe not.
Yeah,
so, shout out to you for having that fortitude of like not letting that, the mental break you down, and keep you from doing it. And then again, for those cats who, because I just mentioned this recently to someone about like when your friends doubt you, that shit hurts.
It hurts. It's when your friends, when your family doubts you, and without, again, I'm a typical African guy, so my family hates the idea. They detest. I'm looking for a stronger word. They abhor the idea of me fighting. And early on, now still, I'm always faced with some sort of resistance, and it comes in different forms. It comes up with straight up like, yo, you should stop doing this shit. You should stop doing this thing. Did you come to America to come and fight? Or it might be in the form of they're just trolling me whenever I lose. Or trying to get in the way. Like, they're again, so many different forms. Calling me at times where I'm at the gym and complaining when I don't pick. It's been in different ways that I'm like, I know what you're doing. And a lot of them have not been, traditionally, just by tradition, I can't call people out for some of those things. I can only be like, one day you're gonna see, one day, if anything, one day you're gonna regret doing or saying some of these things. And it hurts, but it's fantastic motivation to do things.
Yeah. That's a thing too about it, is like that motivation, but also too, like that's the thing too, is like you get the motivation, but it's like you don't want to make the motivation like because now you're giving them the satisfaction knowing they're in your head. But it's like, but once you get there, sometimes though, those types of folks though, like they find some other thing to pivot to. It's like if you go and do the thing you say you're going to do, and they said you can't do it. It's like, okay, well,
but you didn't do this. You didn't do this other thing.
They find another thing, and it's like it just becomes a thing now. It's like, look, I'm just going to keep doing my thing. I don't have to. Like I was telling my wife, I have family members that do that, and it's like I don't disconnect from them, but I do limit them.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, Jake, what's going on? I'm all right. So you still doing the podcast thing? Like, yeah,
your little podcast.
Yeah, like your little podcast. Yeah, it's all right. Like my brother-in-law is a big one. Like, let me ask you, how much money are you making from that? Well, I'm not really seeking to make any money,
bro.
Like, it's something
passion project.
Yeah, it's something that I want to do because I like talking to people.
Yeah,
I want to hear stories. Like, you mean to tell me you ain't trying to make no money off this? It's like, I mean, I could, but I don't. Like we were talking beforehand. It's like it becomes work. Like, work's not fun. Like, I like just sitting down and talking. But these people, they come into it and they want to attack. So it's like, I'm just going to give you short answers. There's nothing for you to go after. Like, so how's your little podcast going? It's all right.
It's all right.
Like, so you making any money off of it? I mean, I could, but I'm not really interested in that right now. The more questions is like, all right, let me shorten that answer here. Like, because at the end of the day, those types of folks, they're not happy with themselves. And then now that you're doing your thing, they are fucking bitter because they're not doing their thing. It was so how's your little fight camps going?
It's karate going on.
Like, with the hand motions. Like, how's karate
going? But the amount of times that they've asked me, right, how much you make from this after I've explained for 1,000 times that I'm an amateur. And I don't make. Well, I make a little bit of money change from ticket sales when I do sell tickets. Yeah. But the amount of times that I've had to tell the same people, right, that I'm an amateur and I don't make money off this yet. I've used different terms. This is an internship. I use it like this is the word I use. When you're on an internship, you don't get paid. You might get transportation, you might get gas money, depending on the company. They might give you a little something, but usually you don't get paid for you don't get paid by the hour.
Yeah.
Once you're done with your internship, you can now apply to a good job. I've used this analogy a bunch of times, but
I love that analogy.
But the same people come back again and again and ask me the same questions, right? And like, I wouldn't say it's all the people who pick on it that are mean, bad. Some people, they're genuinely worried about me, and they're looking for every way they can get to make me to stop it. I mean, it's fair. It's a dangerous undertaking. Fighting is very dangerous, especially if you're on the outside and you don't before I started training, I used to think everybody gets knocked out during boxing training. I thought that was like a normal thing. I thought all fights ended in knockouts. I didn't know about decisions. And then it was my brother who was like, "Oh, yo, if you're getting knocked out in your gym, you're in a bad gym." I'm like, "Really?" I had never been I'd never been to a gym then. And now that I've been training, I've never seen someone get knocked out. I've barely even seen someone get dropped to the head. Maybe I see that maybe once every 6 months, maybe. But those are not things that happen. Like, how many times do you see someone getting choked out during jiu-jitsu training? Rare. It happens, but it's rare.
Like,
you know,
I've never seen anyone in our gym during sparring go unconscious.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's extremely rare. So, but again, people on the outside don't see those things. And the training is the most dangerous part. You know, the training is the most dangerous part. But people don't see that there are a lot of measures that are taken. I mean, but again, they don't know that you could also be in a bad gym. You know, that you could be training with somebody who's coming with a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of bad intentions. So I understand, to a certain degree, I understand, like certain people in my family trying to stop me. Then I also have like people who are just, just plain on making fun of it. But I use all of those things. Again, it hurts in the moment, but I always try to use all those things as motivation. And those things have gotten me far, man. They have gotten me through the most difficult times. Just because I'm not giving people satisfaction of saying that they told me so.
yeah.
I'll never give these people satisfaction. Not only that, the standards that I had set for myself are higher than it. Somebody had to tell me this, because I was tripping one time and it was like, Beltus, you don't need to be trying to meet up to your family's expectations, even your coach's expectations, because the expectations that you have for yourself are higher than what those people want.
True.
Usually any coach wants you to be good at your sport, right? Your family members want you, if you're an African guy, your family wants you to be good at work or school, something like an academic pursuit. I want to do all those things. Not necessarily at the same time, but I want to do all those things with time, right? And I'm working on those things separately. It's not like I don't have a job. It's not like I don't have. So just by the simple math, I already have whatever standards they have or expectations they have of me. I already have double of what both of those people want. You know, so I was like, this person it was my girlfriend. You know, if I'm saying person, let me just clarify, because she's probably going to listen. And she was right. You know, like, I have extremely high standards, and I just remind myself once in a while, like, of course I want all these people's approval, but the person's approval that I want the most is mine. You know, it's mine at the end of the day, because it's still my life. You know, if anything happens to me, the person who suffers the brunt of it is me.
Yep.
It's me. Like, when I blow on my knees, it's not like my family stopped working. It's not like they stopped getting paid. I mean, they were hurt. You know, it's not like my teammates stopped training. Everybody moves on with your life. So at the end of the day, it still comes down to you. So you got to make sure that you're making yourself proud before anything.
Oh, absolutely. And I like that point that you made there, though, too. Is like, it's you. Like, you're the one that this affects the most. Because I find that there's this ideal at times where people are just trying to get in your ear, but also some people let people get in their ear. It's like, oh, no, I let them down. It's like, you didn't let nobody down, man. Like, or... You know, it's like you said, your knee injury happened. Well, everybody kept working.
Yeah.
Everybody kept moving. Life kept moving, but yours had to, take a detour. So I like, hearing that, though, because it's like, that's a reminder that people need. You know, it's like, look, do for you.
Yeah, because it's like, one of our coaches used to always be like, don't say that you're doing this shit for your family, because it's like if you want to do something for your family, go be an accountant, go be something else. Don't come here and say you're trying to fight some people in your underwear for your family. Of course, your family, and that makes more sense now the more I think about it, because it's like, of course, you want to make your family proud and stuff, but fighting in itself is a very selfish pursuit. You have to be selfish to make it. Like, literally, you have to be, like, you're talking about training now, you have to be selfish to a point where it's like, I don't care what you got going on. I want to dominate this position. I want to be the one controlling you, controlling the underhook or the overhook. I want to be the one imposing my jab. I want to be the one in mount. I want to be the one keeping you my guard. You know, I want to be the one, like, you have to be selfish to a certain extent. And like you were saying earlier too, those are things that I struggled with, to be honest, because it's like, once I get, if I'm training where I know your name and we're cool, it just feels, it's right when it comes to like striking and like punching people. I'm like, damn, I don't think I want to hit this guy as hard as I need to hit him, you know? And I mean, but then I sometimes I have to remind myself, these guys aren't thinking the same thing. That's how sometimes I get over it. Like if this guy's, I mean, it's not like he's trying to knock me out, but he's trying to win the round. And I'm over here playing nice. I'm over here being I'm being fake nice. I'm not like I'm faking it, but I'm being fake nice because we're already fighting. We're already punching each other. Let's go.
Yeah. Like, I know there's some people like in jiu-jitsu, they don't like to talk.
When they're rolling.
Especially during rolling. Not me. I'm a chatterbox. I'm a shit talker. I like to sing. I do it all. And it's obnoxious. But I also, I know who I can get away with that with and who I can't. There's some where it's like, let me just shut the fuck up. Because like they're not with that. But there are others that are like, they're cool with it. But I mean, even before like at a competition, there are cats that they don't want to talk to who they're going against. They don't want any interaction because it's like, what if this guy ends up striking up a nice conversation and now I got to go choke you in front of your kids?
I'm sorry, man.
It's like, that sucks. It's like, yeah, I'm out here. I got my family today. You know? Like, oh, yikes. Well,
sorry about that, man.
You probably should have told him to stay home today. like, let me tell you, you're going to sleep.
Don't bring your family.
Don't bring them. Like that. Like I don't even know. It's like I'm even thinking about that. I was like, damn. Like I can't imagine going to a competition myself, knowing, like, hey, my daughter's watching. I was like, uh-oh.
That's crazy pressure, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Daddy's arm just got broke. But I mean, that's the thing though too. Like you said, this is a selfish endeavor. And for those that are in our corners though, like my wife tells me, like, you know, go train. Like if there's a night that she's not working, she's like, you can go train if you want. Like you have you have the car and I'm home. Like go ahead and go train. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But like we were talking about that though too, even with all the collecting down here, like all the action figures. Like we were watching Scream 7 last night. In the opening scene, the guy, he's a big fan and the girlfriend didn't seem like a fan. And then we got to talking about that dynamic. She was like, no, I mean, I might not be crazy about jiu-jitsu. This is my thing, but I want you to enjoy it. And I always ask questions to engage, even though, you know, it's not my thing. I do want to understand it. And I think it's important to have those kind of people. Like that. Yeah, because if you, like, yes, it's a selfish endeavor, but I think it's only selfish if you're neglecting stuff, right? So it's like, hey, you know, we gotta get the kid, you know, I don't know, to the hospital or something. Oh, but I just got the training.
Yeah, sorry, I can't make it.
Like, you know, on some shit like
open
that.
mat Thursday.
Yo, I got open mat that night.
But let me know what the doctor says though.
Like my daughter had she's in theater and she just had she's in the what is it, mixed teens maybe. She's advanced up to the next age group, I guess. And this time they have 3 performances. Like in her last group, they had 2 performances, I think a Friday and a Saturday. This one was like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all of which cut into training. And I was like, oh.
You just gotta.
And my wife did say, she was like, you only got to go to one of them. You don't got to go to all 3. Like the Saturday one actually was after training. So I was able to come home and shower and then go. But that Sunday one was right in the middle of open mat. And then that Monday one was right in the middle of that Monday night class. But you know, and that's not even like on some old, like, you know, being selfish, like, oh, I'm going to skip the kids' play.
Yeah.
Like, I went to all 3 of them. But, I mean, if it's on someone like they only have one play, and it's like, ooh, but I got class tonight. Like, and you choose to go train, and you know, but I hear people do that kind of stuff, though. That people are like, well, you know, it's not selfish to you know, train and, you know, work on your thing. And it's like, I mean, it's a fine line.
It kind of, it really just depends on you could almost have the same exact situation, but one might come out come out and it's a selfish act, and the other person it might not be. It just really just depends on the situation. But like for sure that, bro, there are a lot of events that I've missed. There are a lot of events that I was like, if I miss this does not look good, and this is not right. You know, like I could miss one class. That okay, for example, recently my grandma's been really sick, right? She's been going, like, ambulances have been coming to her house like every other week, and there are times where they'll take her to the hospital, and I know that if I leave now, like, I know nothing's gonna happen, but if I leave now, my mom is gonna be there's nobody that she can bounce her thoughts off, you know, like, oh yeah, I don't know why, so I'll just stay home, you know, and like maybe I have a fight coming up, maybe, you know, and and you start thinking, man, maybe my coach is probably thinking I'm just at home slacking, or I'm, you know, whatever, right? But you weigh it, like, it's not even close, like being there for your mom, or being at someone's, like your child's play and stuff like that, or going to sweat with a bunch of guys. I mean, it might appeal to certain people, but
Like, I mean, you know, for some folks, I mean, I know for me, I went to all three performances. My wife was like, you don't have to go to all three. You only really have to go to one. And I was like, well,
she's going to remember.
Yeah, I want this to be a thing for her because she was really proud of it. I mean, she was a background character, you know, so first play in the older kids group. She's still one of the younger ones. But, you know, it's still one of those things where it's like, it matters, you know, in that regard. Now, you know, for some folks are like, look, going to one is enough. You know, that kid, you know, saw me at the one. Yeah. They don't need to see me at all three. And that's fine. You know, I just know for myself personally, I remember those things like growing up. Oh, you know, my grandparents didn't come to this thing. They didn't come to that thing.
I remember all of them.
So I think about my kid and I was like,
yeah, you don't want them to have that.
When she's like, Dad, you know, she asked me the other day, you want to go over to the tennis court and play tennis? I was like, I got to come down and work out. You know, I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and go play tennis. I'll work out later. You know, there's always going to be time. You know, but yeah, fighting in itself, it's selfish. You know, but you know, again, there's a weird line because it's like, you know, can you kind of navigate around it? It was like, okay, like, again, maybe, you know, you don't have to go to all three performances. I felt like I had to, but
yeah, and there might be situations where we're going to one is gonna be enough. You know, and also neglecting those. One thing about just being a human being is people are your currency. Yeah. So if you neglect people now in the pursuit of any goal, there's usually a good chance that you might need some of those people down the line. You know, not everybody. There are people that you neglect, you're never gonna need. The people that you're gonna but there are a lot of people that you're gonna need down the line. For example, when I got hurt, right, one of the people who was taking care of me primarily was my girlfriend, right? She's the one who took me to the. I don't live with my girlfriend. I live with my mom. But it's my girlfriend who took me back from the arena after I got hurt. She's the one who took me took me to surgery because my family. I mean, I didn't want my mom to go. My mom was. I wanted to keep her as far away from this as possible, just so she cannot come back and be like, remember how we had to suffer for you to get back on your feet. Now you want to go back to this thing, and also because she'll probably not be able to stand that pressure of like sitting in the operation room and stuff like that. So, and my sister was pregnant, so I didn't want her to do that either. But if there was little scenarios here and there where I would have neglected, like maybe activities that my girlfriend wanted me to do, and imagine if I was like being all selfish and like I'm not gonna do this, I have training every single time. No. And we broke up. When I got hurt, who would have taken care of me? My mom. Yeah, and it would have come to bite me back in the ass.
Okay. You know. Yeah, there'd be consequences.
So, I mean, that's an easy example, and I also hate saying things like this because, I prefer keeping my life private and stuff like that. But it's that I also have to give her credit, you know, and also a perfect example for whoever is listening that you cannot afford to neglect the people around you because you do not know when you're gonna need them. You literally do not know when you need them.
Well, absolutely. All right. Before we start to wrap up here, I want to talk to you about just kind of life outside of the cage, outside of fighting, away from fighting. like what helps you disconnect from fight mode?
Good question. What helps me disconnect from fighting? Hanging out with my friends who are not into fighting. So I would say like dealing with hanging out with my friends, my family, my girlfriend. So hanging out with people in general, I would say anime. I'm a big anime guy. I'm also pretty recent. No, I'm a history buff to a certain extent. I don't want to say I'm a history buff because I'm not gonna be giving you accurate dates or anything like that. But
You have an interest there.
I have an interest there in like history and science and all that type of stuff. So I delve into those. I delve into those things in my free time. I'm presently listening to a podcast, Real Dictators of History. So it's basically just talking about the lives of different dictators. So we usually have like 3 or 4 episodes talking about like 1 hour, 2 hour episodes talking about a specific dictator. And it's gonna be like 2 or 3 episodes. So right now I'm on the episode that's talking about Hitler, like his rise. Of course,
The first one that came out.
yeah, because it's probably the most popular, is hit. But I've listened to episodes about like all those guys, Mao Zedong from China, Stalin. There's this Japanese guy who was in the Second World War who was working together with Hitler, and some other guys like Papa Doc from Haiti, and yeah. So I like to listen to things like that. Just history, how the world became the way it is now. That's just actually one of my that's one of my most recent hobbies. Video games too, but I haven't gamed in a while. I'm saving up. I want to build a PC.
Oh, nice.
I've never built one before, but I want to build one. So I'm saving up to get it because I don't want to buy a PS5 and then years from now I have to buy a PS6.
That's where I'm at right now. I was like, I don't want to buy it because I know the next one's coming.
Yeah, so I want to buy a PC so I can. I heard like Steam, you don't have to. Yeah. So yeah, those are the things that help me disconnect, and also another pretty important one, and one that I neglect sometimes, about my faith. Which is whenever and recently I started going back to church consistently on Sundays, and
Nice.
and it's made a big difference in my. I'll say made a big difference in my life. I just feel better when I go to church. I was just like, damn, I've been missing this because ever since I moved here, I kind of fell out of that habit because I was like, I'm looking for a church. I have specific, standards that it has to meet. I have to make sure that this church is actually abiding by what the Bible says for the most part.
Good.
You never find a perfect church, but some of the ones around me were not the best. So and then I just got into the habit of not going to church on Sundays. So a lot of my friends, everyone's probably like, "Oh, Beltus, have you been going to church? You should probably look into that." It's from when I'm talking about other things like, I think you should also go to church. So I was like, one of my goals this year was to look for a church that I'm gonna be going to, and I've been going to church every other Sunday, sometimes every Sunday, or if I miss, I watch it online, and that's made a big difference. Studying the Bible, to studying my faith, making sure that I'm following the right path.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's interesting. Like, well, all of that's interesting. Like the history, and then the faith, because it's almost kind of taboo when people like nowadays it's like, oh, you can't really talk about your religion, and I admit I'm not a religious person, but I never want people to shy away from it. Like I tell my wife all the time, I have a couple friends. I have 2 friends specifically that I love hearing them talk about religion because they talk to you. They don't talk at you. They're not preaching to you. They're talking about their love for it. And it's like, I'm fascinated by that. So whenever, I hear anyone, say, I'm trying to get back in touch with my faith. I was like, oh, I'm curious. Like tell me more. Like, I want to know. It's not even on some like, I want to know because I want to follow that path too. No, I'm interested. Yeah. Like what
does it look like?
Yeah. Cause who knows? Like, even though I'm not really, I grew up in the church, we were Lutheran, and my grandparents, they're still active. But for me, it's like it's not really my thing right now. We always say, like, if our daughter is like, hey, we want to go to I want to go to church. All right, let's go check it out. So I'm still always very curious about, like, where people are in terms of their faith. So that's really cool, really cool. And like, I guess, the next question I'm looking at here is like, oh, you kind of really just hit us with the surprises. Like, what's something that people would be surprised to learn about you? I was like, well, I think, shit, I was just surprised. But, any more surprises for us?
Any more surprises? Well, I find out, a lot of things. One of the things that people are usually surprised is that let's say I'm a scientist. If I went to school and I have a degree in like a science field, does that make me a scientist, or you have to be practicing?
I don't know. I feel like dude, I'm a martial artist. I might not be good at it, but I'm a martial artist. So I mean, I think you're a scientist then.
But let me say, whenever I talk about my educational background, people are always like, "Oh, you went to school." It's a little ignorant sometimes, but I'll say, yeah, that's one thing that people are usually surprised about. That, oh, this guy, I have a degree in microbiology and laboratory technology. I haven't used it since I moved here. I work presently now. I'm an analyst, so
okay.
I moved.
So that's where I was getting confused. I felt like you were doing something like computers.
Yeah.
Like numbers, computers, and like now that's where I'm getting it from, because I knew we had this discussion before.
Probably mentioned, but yeah, whenever I mention any of those things, either my background, what I'm doing now, people are usually surprised. I don't know why, but I kind of know why. Number one, because people usually, if you're a fighter, because they think you have to be a meathead, even though fighting is cerebral.
So many fighters that like you encountered that are actually like engineers.
Yeah,
like,
there's this girl in the road to UC, this Chinese girl who's a doctor full time. Yeah. She's beating the heck out of people. But yeah, I'll say that's usually what people are surprised about. My educational background, or what I do for a living.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess like you said though, when people hear like, oh, you're a fighter, oh, but like you're a scientist too. It's like, well, yeah, two things can be true. Like, would you expect me to be a crayon eater? Like, what were you expecting from me?
Maybe eat crayons sometimes, but not all the time,
I mean, the blue ones taste best. I said that shit to my daughter the other day, and she looked at her eyes bugged. I was like, what? I was like, nah, like, never mind, kid. Like, you're not ready for these jokes. So, yeah. Good to know. All right, so before we wrap up here, I'm going to go ahead and do the rapid fire segment here. I do have, let's see, let's just go with rapid fire. Ooh, I was thinking about doing the would you rather. I like rapid fire better. All right. Hardest part about fight camp?
The anxiety of the fight.
Yeah, that's gotta fucking suck.
They're thinking about it all the time.
Like, I don't fight. Like, but when I see y'all doing some shit, I get anxious. So I can only imagine what's going on with y'all. So, favorite strike to land?
Cross.
Nice. You seem the type. Favorite submission to hit in training?
Rear naked choke.
Dude, I fucking knew it. I was like, this dude looks like an RNC guy. Like, I just got a feeling. Walkout song right now.
Walkout song. I usually alternate, but Mosiac Solitaire is a French song. One of my favorite songs. If I had to, I'm not gonna drag, but the title Mosiac Solitaire basically means a mosaic is like it's like a very complex painting, and then solitaire, like you're a solitary person.
Okay.
No, solitaire, like a solitary person or someone who's in solitude.
Yes.
So I, based on the lyrics and just I interpret it as being
someone who's am I supposed to go and explain this part?
mean,
but
you
yeah,
can.
I was OD, but it. Sorry, I'm fumbling my words, but yeah, it's your solitude. My solitude is very complex. Yeah, that's the word I
like
was looking
that.
for. The solitude is very complex. It's not like I'm alone, like I don't have friends or I don't know people, but I'm solitary in certain ways.
Yeah, there's a complexity to it.
Yeah, it's a complexity to it.
It's not about like, I don't want friends or,
I don't have friends or something like that. Yeah.
there's a complexity to it. Sometimes that solitude is peace. Sometimes that solitude is that recharge. So yeah, fuck off, y'all. Stop judging. Favorite movie or TV show?
Favorite movie.
Van Helsing. It's my favorite movie.
See, we were just talking about the horror podcast. We can do an episode on Van Helsing.
Van Helsing. Second would be the, Incredible Hulk.
Nice.
I've probably watched those movies at least 30 times each.
Let's make some fucking noise. First time we use a soundbar for this episode. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk don't get enough credit. People, haters. Music you listen to before training?
Music I listen to before training. Mozart Solitaire. A bunch of other songs too, but that's probably my most listened song.
Okay.
Before or after training, or sometimes, like I said before, there are recordings of Mike Tyson saying certain things, and I listen to them. They get me right sometimes.
Now it's like listening to Mike Tyson, like just chilling. Is like to get you right. The fuck. Oh man,
The compilation of certain things he says.
I can only imagine. And then last one here. Let's see. I got two. I got to pick between the one. What's something that you're proud of outside of fighting?
Something I'm proud of outside of fighting. Being able to build a community here in America.
Fucking right.
That was my biggest challenges when I came here.
Good. I'm glad you're able to. It's tough. Community is tough. So you're going to a new land, and then it's like, how do I fucking do this? So I fucking love it, man. That's awesome.
Thank you very much, brother.
All right, Beltus, man. It's great to have you back on. We're about to do. Hey, y'all don't know this, but we're about to actually do another podcast. As soon as we're done, we're gonna eat some pizza, and we're about to have some fun on Compton as well. So. Beltus is in here for the long haul. Like my wife said, hey, we got to feed him. He's going to be here all day. We got to feed him. And I was like, what?
Yo, Dante didn't even want to give me he didn't even want to give me a seat. He said, you're gonna record standing, boy.
I mean,
that's what he said.
It was more like, well, that's Steve's seat. I don't know what you're going to do, but like, you're going to figure it out though. But thank you for making the time and doing this, and then just, sharing, your info, your knowledge, and then just kind of like really giving us perspective and then seeing things. So thank you for doing that. Before we wrap up, you got any shout outs or mentions you want to leave our listeners with today?
Shout outs. Shout out to you, Dante, for having me on. It means a lot.
Thank you.
I was surprised that you wanted to have me on now, because I thought the next time I was gonna be on is when I've done something, I've achieved something, like something significant over from the time we spoke.
Oh well, we'll get to that one too. But
yeah, for sure, 100%. But I just having me in mind. Shout out to you. Shout out to my girlfriend, Tammy. I mean, I'm not a guy who does this. This was funny, but she's probably gonna listen to it. And shout out to my gym, Crazy 88, and shout out to my ride cross.
See, and this is why, like, whenever I go to the Saturday morning training over at Severna Park, it's like, I was like, man, I don't think I want to do this with none of them. They gonna beat my ass. And as soon as you mention the right cross, I was like, ugh, great. Just another thing I'm just gonna get knocked out with. It's like, but excellent all the same. And look, the pizza just showed up. That's them ringing the doorbell. That's them ringing the door. Oh, it pops up on the TV too. Shout out to the food arriving. Look at that. So, all right. As always, though, to you guys listeners, thank you If y'all have any questions or concerns or criticisms, please feel free to reach out. You can always find me at bgg.wiki on Instagram or Off the Meds Podcast as well on Instagram. I want to give a big shout out to Nerd Rage Radio. If it weren't for Nerd Rage Radio, I wouldn't be doing a podcast. So thank you to them, Bobby Joe, Chris, Marilyn, Phil, and all the guys over there. Thank you. I also want to shout out my other podcast, So You Like Horror. If you like scary movies, go check it out. We just briefly mentioned it right there at the end when he brought up Van Helsing, but you know, I think you're gonna get the Triple Crown if you do that episode too. If you do a horror episode, the Triple Crown, because you would have been on Colompton, Off the Mess, and then the horror.
Yes, sir.
Like we making things happen. But if you're into scary movies and scary content, go check it out. I believe the last episode we did Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Because we're talking about horror television, and this was kind of gateway horror, kid-friendly horror. So if you're into that kind of thing, go check it out. But that's not what we're all about. Next episode, we're actually going to be talking about Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Night. That's that joint with Billy Zane in it, if y'all know. And then also had Jada Pinkett before she was a Smith. So it's a fun movie. It's one that I watched a lot as a kid, but my wife and I are going to sit down and break it down and talk about it. It's a lot of fun. It'll be a fun watch or a fun listen. Go check it out on So You Like Horror on Instagram. All the words separated by underscores. So You Like Horror. Or go listen to the podcast wherever you're listening to this. And last but not least, I want to give a big shout out here to our guest again, Mr. Beltus. Thank you for coming out here and doing this. Thank you for just being cool about this. Because it's like, you know, all my guests are cool, but it's like when we're sitting here, it's like, oh man, this feels like a kinship. This is, you know, it feels like half the time I was like, shit, I forgot we were recording. Like, hold on. But thank you for doing this. We do appreciate you. And also one last time, we want to shout out and express heartfelt support and love for the Timmons family, who just recently lost Justin, Brandon Timmons, who trains with us at Crazy 88, is his younger brother, who also trained with us at Crazy 88. So, you know, they're in our thoughts, they're in our prayers. And, you know, if you feel like, again, you need to talk to someone,
Please do.
know, yes, absolutely. They just, you know,
if that person doesn't listen, there's probably someone else who
yes,
doesn't listen.
Like, you know, please reach out. Please.
Oh yeah, reach out.
And also too here, you know, BJJ Wiki. I've put up plenty of content surrounding mental health and suicide awareness. So, and I've had people reach out and actually express their feelings. So we're always here. So definitely reach out. And again, to you guys, the listeners, thank you. We appreciate you guys. We love you. We really do. You guys know what it is. You guys keep listening, and we're going to definitely keep making a show. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
Deep with it. Now let me sing a song.